but you also should get your hands up.
I love it.
Because
there it is.
It's time for our Good Hands plays presented by Allstate. Do you know who you're in good hands with? You're in good hands with Josh bleeping Allen. That dude was incredible down the stretch today. In the second half against the Bengals, 13 for 15, 239 total yards, 3 touchdowns, a 150.4 passer rating. It felt like the game was in tow for the Bengals. They're up by 10 at one point, and then Burrow had back-to-back interceptions. One was a pick six. But I want to ask you, did you learn anything about the Bills with how they came back and won that game?
Learn anything? Of course not. Like, this team is the same team. Well, I would say the same team that they've always been. They're certainly the same defense that it feels like they've always been, where it's like a very turnover dependent defense. They got them today, and so they won. The offense has evolved over the time with Josh there, and it still feels like an offense that, of course, can run the ball as long as James Cook holds on to it. They're in good shape there, and Josh Allen is. He's special. That's it. He makes the plays on 3rd and 15. That was the difference in the game to me, honestly, is like you could look at it from the defensive point of view or you could look at it from the quarterback's point of view, where it's the Bills defense made the 2 turnovers that they needed to make to stop them, and they forced a couple of punts, which on the other side, the Bengals defense couldn't do that. Or you could look at the quarterbacks and say, Josh made every play that he needed to make, and Burrow made almost every play that he needed to make, but twice he didn't, and that cost him.
Yeah, I try to think about what I would say if the Bills lost this game the way the Chiefs lost their game, and like, what does this mean for the Bills? I think it's mostly defense-oriented. Mm-hmm. But every time they play Burrow, it's a reminder that you can play these zone heavy, give them the underneath check down, make them be perfect all the way down the field defenses, and it's all well and good. It's all hunky-dory. You get to the playoffs, you run into a Joe Burrow, and you just have no pitches. You have no change-ups. You just sit there and lose, right? Opening drive was 14 plays, 67 yards, 8 minutes. They were 4 for 4 on 3rd down. Start of the 4th quarter after the Cook fumble, right? The Bengals were up by 1 score, 4th quarter. 12 plays, 80 yards, 7 minutes, right? Just walk them down the field, right? And it's with 8 to 12-yard passes, too. It's not with explosives. They got a couple of DPIs, but it's just execution. And when you try to out-execute, it works great in the regular season. And now you're going to run into a guy in your division, in Drake May, who's really, really good in those sort of instances. And so but we've known that about the Bills defense for a while. In this instance, they actually do right. They get the Benford pick, they get that Vanessa pick, and then Allen's legs, man. Every December, it feels like it snows for the first time, and just a switch flips in that Wyoming head of his, and he just turns into a moose, man. Like he's just loping and hitting people, and just so explosive. That every year, man, it's a reminder that he can flip a field with that running ability.
It's just him and the tight ends right now. Like it's enormous white buffaloes is what that Bills team is. It's all 6'5", 350 or 250-pound guys that they are feeding the ball to, and it seemed like they were the leading target getters and the leading receivers. Like both of his tight ends, when they needed a play, they went away from that. I was wondering from the Burrow side of it is, when you think about all these top-tier quarterbacks that we love, the ones that are in the playoffs and out of the playoffs, I feel like Burrow with Chase and Higgins is such a luxury that the other quarterbacks look at and probably jealous. But I wonder if Burrow would be willing to part with one of them for a defense that could get a stop. I don't even want a good defense.
Right.
Just get a stop. I don't think Allen punted. I don't know. Double check that for me. But I don't think that the Bills punted one time in that game.
Bills had touchdown, end of game, fumble, touchdown, end of half, downs, touchdown, field goal. That's everything. Yep,
downs.
No punts.
They had a downs. They got them off on downs one time. Nice job, D.
So, you brought up the Burrow thing about the wishing they had a defense. Don't you guys, after watching Burrow for the last 2 weeks, don't you just wish they hadn't blown their games against the Jets and the Bears when he was out? It seems so much more fun than whoever's going to win. No?
I don't want to watch this defense.
You want to watch the Steelers?
I want to watch Barrett Carter in January? Absolutely.
You want to watch the Steelers play a playoff game?
I do want to hate. I do want to hate watch the Steelers. I will very gladly watch the Steelers and this Aaron Rodgers disaster of an offense and enjoy watching them fall apart in the postseason. Yes, I agree. Of the options in the AFC North, the Bengals are probably the best. But I do not want objectively to watch this defense in the postseason.
Well, it's unfortunately, as Charlie likes to put everything in a vacuum, this is not in a vacuum. You have to choose for the options that are actually there. And I, like you, a couple weeks ago, I was telling Charlie every week, honestly, Charlie gets all excited, like the Bengals, they could make it. I'm like, Charlie, they're gonna blow it at some point because they're the Bengals. But I also have to admit that while I do think that they're going to blow it and not make it to the playoffs, and they probably already have, I don't know what their percentages are, but they've, I'm sure, plummeted.
Very low.
I would rather see them in the playoffs than, the Steelers are a good example. I don't really want to see the Steelers. I'm fine with the Broncos and their defense and their Bo Nix screen and bomb offense, which is hilarious. I love it. They don't 10 to 20. They don't mess with that area.
No, sir.
Just deep and short. Deep and short. You can't mess this up.
Yeah, the Bengals fans are quickly becoming that which they swore to destroy, man. A lot of what if in Cincinnati. A lot of, man, if they would just let us in the postseason, like the third season in the last 5 years we've done this for Cincinnati. Get a real offensive line, get a healthy quarterback, and make it one time. Why don't we?
That would be nice. Or in a defense, throw that on there too. Last couple years.
Well, let's be realistic here. You can't get a whole defense in Cincinnati. It's never been done.
I kind of get it. Just let him in.
You want to go with the college process, or we just
it's a flawless process.
The college
There's
process,
nothing to complain about.
I know we're an NFL show. We'll get into this. It is so funny that Notre Dame was just like, we're going home. It's so funny.
I mean, they're gonna undercut the bowl games, and I know we'll get back to the NFL really quickly. But my only thought is how I remember that we used to argue about the top 4 teams, and all those teams felt like they could win a championship. Now, for some reason, we argue about teams that we know can't win the championship. Like, these bottom teams, like, why are we arguing about it? You're not going to win it.
Because I went to Vanderbilt. That's why I want to argue about it.
Go Doors.
Yeah.
Once you remember that college football is not a sport but a reality television show, the process makes a lot more sense. You're like, oh, that's right. We need this is for the views.
All right, let's get back to NFL. Right. Don't piss off all states.
Back to the NFL.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad.
Extra hands up.
A little bit of college talk.
But like, come on, just with the Bengals stuff, even obviously the defense it's an abomination. It's an affront to everything you believe in, Domonique. But it is the thing that's fun about Burrow is he's the last one of these great quarterbacks who still has a fun offense. And like, I know Josh Allen was fun today, but like it sucks. And this is the thing about the Mahomes thing or Lamar being injured right now. It sucks watching these great quarterbacks and these really constipated offenses that are boring.
Yeah. I can't disagree with you there. And I mean, it's the point that we already made. And part of the reason why they're really fun offense is because they have 2 receivers that you can't ignore, and one that requires a double team and Chase all game long. And then Higgins, you can't double team, who makes ridiculous, like, contested catches. And coming off that concussion, he hit the ground hard a couple times today that I did not love seeing, but somehow he still managed to make impressive catch after impressive catch after that. But yeah, I think that's part of the reason when there are guys that you don't have to scheme for, and it just gives. That's the thing about Mahomes that like feels. It just feels exhausting. You want to be able to give your quarterback a break. If it's a guy who can run for 5 yards, that would be nice. Or it's a guy that you don't have to think about. You're like, hey, we got man coverage. I'm going there. It'll be fine. You doubling him? Fine. I'll give him a chance. Like, Mahomes hasn't had that in forever, and it feels like that's part of the reason. I don't want to take anything away from Burrow. Obviously, he's exceptional, but I don't think he's that much better than those other names that you mentioned.
No,
the
he's
reason
definitely
why
not.
Is he got those guys, and that helps.
And the thing that Burrow has become exceptional at, which he was certainly good at in college, but the thing at which he's become exceptional is the pre-snap ID and then the quick within 1 second of the snap, double check my work, choose a route, choose a throw, and then go. And that is a product of playing with Jamar Chase and playing with T. Higgins, where the way that you maximize those players is saying, okay, I know that I'm going to have a mismatch somewhere. If I can find it really well, really fast, I can maximize these players, right? And so a lot of what Burrow does so well, because you're right, he is exceptional, is a self-fulfilling prophecy based off the receivers that he played with, right? And like T, man, every time I think T's a top 20 receiver, I'm like, man, he might be top 15. And I think he's top 15, I'm like, man, he might be top 10. Like the adjustment to the football relative to the sideline, catches away from frame. There is nobody better in football when the ball is in tight areas, bodies on him. It's him and like Devontae Smith for some weird reason, though Devontae Smith's 170 pounds. He's just preposterously good when he should not be able to make the catch. He's a delight to watch.